that's contradictory to what I've seen and heard from you. For example, on August 11th, in response to Bangladeshi citizens guarding Hindu temples against these attacks, you posted on Facebook, and I'm quoting here, "No matter how diligently you guard temples and churches, they will never be satisfied with you. Tomorrow, they will undoubtedly conspire against you." That's what you said.
If you look at the news from that time, you'd see that India, the Prime Minister and their ministers, they were saying that maybe it's time for us to attack Bangladesh and Muslims, extremists, they are taking over Bangladesh, things like that. So what I said was in protest in that particular context. And it's also true that idol worship is the worst of crimes in the Islam. So if Muslim person goes and protect the temples, it can be part of a conspiracy that these Muslim people were here and they did it. And if a Muslim goes and protect places of worship when there is no need, when there is a government to take care of that, that actually goes against Islamic Aqidah.
On September the 5th, you expressed satisfaction after news reports came out that a Hindu teenager was killed in a mob attack after he allegedly insulted Prophet Muhammad on his social media. How do you justify that?
It's not because a Hindu youth was killed, I said Alhamdulillah. It has nothing to do with that. I am just expressing my delight and my gratitude to Allah that Islam is being upheld. A mob actually delivered justice by killing a person who insulted our Prophet.
But this attack was based on allegations. So what do you actually know about how he may have insulted Prophet Muhammad? Because that detail is very important, isn't it?
I do not know the details, but if that news item was true, then I said Alhamdulillah. That's all I have to say about it.
But again, you didn't clarify that if. Isn't it irresponsible to say something like that, considering you have so many followers, considering the level of influence you have, to say something so inflammatory, given that you didn't even know the facts? Some may argue that is directly inciting violence.
It's not my job to fact check every news. I was only responding to a news headline that came to my notice. If the news is false, doesn't matter. People would just know that this is the law of Islam. If somebody insults the Prophet, he is killable.
Banamali and Sukanto believe this kind of inflammatory rhetoric has directly contributed to the rise in anti-Hindu violence.
When they're doing these things, we are getting hopeless. So don't do this, because this is spreading bad news for us and creating some risk threat for us. So don't make any kind of word which will create problem for the minorities or the Hindus.
Especially in Bangladesh, most of the people are not that much educated. That's why whenever they hear something like this, they just blindly believe that, okay, this is the problem.
In several YouTube videos and Facebook videos, we have seen that the Islamic leaders are laughing about our worships. Sometimes they are telling that idol worship is not in their religious point of view, and this is not right, and no people can do idol worship. The person who are breaking down our idols, they are believing that idol worship is not a proper way for doing prayer. This statement will create more risks for our life.
We're back on the road again.
We are almost there.
Heading to the Sotida Hindu crematorium and temple complex in Pirganj, which used to serve 14 villages in the area. There is a brick building with its roof collapsed and it's almost entirely destroyed. What was that?
This is Shiv temple.
The temple of Shiva.
They also break down the idol of this temple also.
The once sacred site now lies in ruins.
This is called Kali.
Kali temple.
There is a white hexagonal structure and the doors are completely burnt away. I'm looking inside and the idols have been taken away. There is nothing inside.
It's so horrible. We think every god needs to be respected. Every religious needs to be respected.
Yes, this is offensive.
Actually, they disrespect our god. They emotionally hurt us, also mentally.
Why do you think they're coming after your gods, your temples?
Because this is the only place that a Hindu feels safe. God is the safest place, and if you destroying this place, people will think that if God is not protecting us, so how can we protect ourselves? And we are helpless right now.
There's about 40 people around me and they all want to say something. This is a very distressed and emotional community at the moment.
আপনি এখানকার প্রেসিডেন্ট না? He is Shankar Rai and he is the president of this crematorium. আপনার নাম হচ্ছে আপনার নাম?
আমার নাম শঙ্কর রায়।
My name is Chandra Rai. I've been the chairperson of this crematorium since 2007.
For a long time then. Tell me about this attack. What happened?
On the 6th of August, a big mob came in. There were over 100 of them, and the people, they broke all the buildings here. They were saying that this area is under control of the Hindus now, but they want to give it to landless farmers. They were really organized, and we weren't expecting them, so we couldn't do anything. We were really afraid, and we didn't have the power to stop them. People could have died here. So we are really feeling insecure about the community members, and they don't have hope, and they worry about their future here.
What can you tell me about these people? Like, who are they? Why would they want to attack you?
Only Muslims came here. They want us to go away so they can take over our land. It's because we're born Hindus. That's why we're facing this ordeal right now.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Islam has various different sects, and the imams in Bangladesh, even though most of them can recite the Quran off by heart, they don't really understand it, the meaning of it. The Quran and Muhammad never said that you go and kill people of different religions. That's what we believe. We want to live in harmony, and to the Muslim leaders who are instigating violence against minority Hindus, I want to tell them, let's not do this anymore. Let's sit down, let's talk, let's find a way to live in harmony together, just like we used to before.
During the making of this documentary, I visited 9 villages and spoke to dozens of Hindu families scarred by these attacks. But finding the people behind the violence, or even those who support it openly, has been much harder. Now, Banamali and Sukanto are taking me to a place where I might finally get to meet some of them face to face.
There is also another crematorium where a mosque was made by the terrorists.
They made a mosque in a Hindu crematorium.
Yes. And they threat the president and secretary not to go this crematorium. They will kill the president and the secretary.
We arrive in Gorgan village, nestled in Thakurganj district. Just weeks before, a Hindu crematorium called Gorgan Central stood right here.
This crematorium was used by the Hindus to burn dead body, but the Muslims of this area made a mosque in that place.
In place of the Hindu crematorium now stands a small mosque. Its newly built tin roof and brick walls, a stark replacement. Outside, a handful of men linger in conversation. One of them unmistakably dressed as an imam.
I am worrying about our security. That's why I don't want to just risk anyone's life here.
To avoid inflaming tensions, we park our car a short distance away, taking care to conceal my recording equipment. Banamali, Sukanto and I wait in the car, while our local producer Saqib cautiously approaches the mosque to gauge if the men are willing to talk. So I'm inside of the car, and my local producer has stepped outside to speak to the community. Suddenly, out of nowhere, lots of people came, and they're all very, very angry. Emotions are high. So my local producer is currently talking to them. There's a lot of shouting. I'm staying inside of the car for now for our own safety. Within minutes, things escalate. From inside the car, we watch in disbelief as the small group swells into a mob of hundreds. The mood turns menacing. Suddenly, Saqib is being punched and kicked as he scrambles back towards the car. We try to escape, but it's too late. Bricks are jammed under our tires, and our car keys are snatched away, along with our phones. We're stranded. Trapped, we sit frozen inside the car, watching in horror. A few individuals attempt to calm the furious mob, but others press forward, pelting the car with bricks and stones, their shouts dripping with venom. Some spit against the windows. My heart pounds, and then a chilling silence falls over the crowd. We see a group of men carrying a barrel. One word cuts through the murmurs. Gasoline. After about 3 hours of being in the car, they were shaking our car, they were screaming until the police arrived, and they let us go. Thankfully, we had sent our coordinates to the security forces before the mob confiscated our phones, and armed guards did eventually come to our rescue 3 or so hours later. Still, this was a much quicker response compared to what some of the Hindu residents here told me they received when they were attacked. As far as we know, no arrests were made. Months later, the mosque still stands.
I thought about that. I maybe die today. Why we are not safe here? I think you understand the actual situation of us.
Don't cry, Sukanto.
We go there to discuss, but they are doing mob justice. They threat us they will kill in front of you. In Bengali, they use the term that they will kill everyone. They will burn the whole car.
I'm so scared.
How we safe in this country?
Some people wanted to save us. That was the very important thing, because without that, we could be killed.
Yeah. At some point, when the people were banging on the screens and they started moving the car, that was scary, and some people started pushing them back.
That's why we are alive right now, because of those people who are good. There's good, bad, both sides of the people.
Now that we went through what we did, are you guys going to continue doing what you're doing?
Yeah, we are continuing.
Yes.
And
we need to secure our life. If we stop this, they will more threat for our future generation. If we silent here, we need to leave this country.
I think we need to solve this kind of problem. And this kind of problem can solve by staying in this country.
You've been listening to the documentary on the BBC World Service. This Heart and Soul program was presented and produced by me, Sahar Zand, with local producers Sakib Pratai and executive producer Rajiv Gupta.